the Tata Bolt XT in sedan form. A budget B segment contender, very recently launched, and well, hopefully relaunching the Tata name in South Africa. Look at some of the features you get on a little car and at a little price, including these daytime running lights down at the bottom over here with fog lamps as well, that definitely have the safety effect and just seriously look good. Coming around, you'll see a nice sized little car, and as I mentioned, in sedan form with that cheeky little rump area that you do have, coming around to a very nice sized boot, probably in the range of 300-ish litre boot. And you can see it takes a nice bit of luggage over here. Unusual in that there is a strut over here that they've used as a strengthening strut inside the boot. So, well, there are one or two points where you can see maybe they've had to cut a few corners and costs. But then again, another feature on a car at this range, you can see the park distance control, the reverse park distance control beepers as well, fitted as standard on this car, and being the XT model, the upper range, mag wheels too. So you're certainly getting a lot of features on this model. Behind the wheel of the Tata Bolt, comfortable place, you can see you've got your multifunction steering wheel over here, which has radio and Bluetooth phone controls for you. In the center of the dashboard, you do also have your trip computer function, which does have numerous functions on it. You can see in just under 500 kilometers of driving, averaging 13.9 kilometers per litre, which means approximately 7 litres per 100. Real life usage in this car. I always like to stress that. A little bit of open road, a lot of town driving, because in the budget B segment, well, you're going to probably live more around town than driving on the open road. Something on this car that is quite interesting is if you look at this end of the market, you have the touchscreen and the multimedia infotainment system, which is quite a feature at this price range. And have a look here. I've put it into reverse, and you have, of course, the reverse camera effect, not a full camera, but your park distance control with the effect to really make life easier when you are reversing in this car. 5-speed manual gearbox, very smooth, very comfortable, very light and easy to drive. It's got auto air conditioning as well, which again is quite a feature at this price range. And then down here you've got two little buttons, City and Eco, which is a very basic form of a multi-mode transmission, so that you do have those where you can change the engine mapping to an extent. If you leave it without pressing either of those buttons, it's in a default mode, which I have to admit I've been using most of the time in this car. Talking about the modes, you have got a 1.2 litre turbo engine in this car, putting out 66 kilowatts and 114 newton meters of torque. So it's got a pretty good torque output over there, and you can definitely feel the effects of that, the positive effects of that, when you're on the road, especially overtaking situations or uphills. So it's not lacking in power for a smaller car in that respect, and very much in the ballpark over there. Let's take a look what life in the back seat is like. Moving into the back seat with the front driver's seat set for myself, you can see plenty of legroom, more than adequate as far as I'm concerned, and space for 2 to 3 in the back seat. Pretty comfortable. Lots of headroom. This is a slightly higher rise, if I can term, vehicle than your smaller sedans often are, so it's definitely got that extra bit of interior space as well. One or two criticisms if I have to make them. If you look at the roof lining, maybe a little bit low rent over here, and then going back to the dashboard, you'll see the slightly glossy effect that some people like, some people may believe is a little bit cheaper in that way. But here is where the crunch of this vehicle comes, because this is the top of the line, top of the range version of the Bolt. Included in your price is a 2-year 30,000 kilometer service plan, and you're talking 152,995 for this car, which I think is amazing value. It really is. You do get the XMS version, which is minus a few of the features, at 142,995, or a personal opinion, if you want the bargain of the range, you don't take the sedan, There's a hatchback version, identical, barring the boot, which is at 142,995 for the XT version. So exactly as this one is, but at 10,000 Rand cheaper. Also, other features you get on this car, 2 airbags, ABS brakes, and all of those type of features are included at the price point. The budget B segment in South Africa is a pretty crowded segment, and it certainly has a lot of competitors and contenders. You've got to look at the Suzuki Swift Desire a lot among them. You look at the Toyota Etios, the new version Ford Figo comes into it. They're all in that same ballpark, and it's a question of which one you believe gives you the best value for money. But you would be doing yourself a serious disservice if you didn't put the Tata Bolt on your shopping list when you look at a car in this range.